let's see. This lady right there. Right in the, yes.
As a young American woman, I was just wondering what your plans are for raising the much-needed awareness of sexual violence against women in this country.
Well, it is a very important, an extremely important thing. It is something that was a major priority of mine as mayor of New York City.
I'm from New Jersey, so...
In 1993, it was a big part of my campaign for mayor. There was a report put out behind closed doors, and the theory of the report was that a lot of this goes on and nobody knows about it because it goes on behind closed doors. And to me, it seemed that it was just as bad, if not worse, than all the other crimes that we knew about and that we were addressing. In some ways, it reminded me of crimes that would be similar to the kinds of things organized crime does, or because in a way, people are in the grip of other people. They're under the control of other people. So what we did was we changed a lot of our procedures. We had a whole police strategy and a healthcare strategy to deal with it. We trained our police into looking for the signs of domestic violence. We set up a hotline. We did advertising so that we would make women feel comfortable coming forward and explaining what was happening. We set up a system in which sometimes in situations like this, a woman is beaten, calls the police come, and the woman then denies that the person that she said was beating her was beating her. Because of fear, exactly right. Because of fear that they're in the grip of this person and nothing can be done to help you. So what we did there was we would keep records of that, so that if we came back a second or third time, we could arrest the man independent of the woman being a complainant. And then we did everything that we could to enforce protective orders. We set up shelters for women. The city did this. And I believe we brought down the amount of domestic violence dramatically. My good friend Joe Torre runs an organization called Safe at Home. Now, this is a private organization. It was developed some years later, but it's places that women can go if they are in this situation where they can get help, where they'll be allowed to live for a while, where they'll be allowed to stay for a while, where they'll get help from the police, where they will get help from social services, doctors, whatever is needed for them and for their children. And we enforce the law against the people doing it very, very strictly. But you just can't, this is an area of crime where you just can't wait for a report, because it does happen behind closed doors, and you have to have strategies to reach in. So the advertising was a big part of it. And then the private organizations, and Joe's is not the only one, there were some other very good private organizations like Safe at Home that do this. And the city had its own agency, the Administration for Children's Services, that I made a separate agency just to focus on children who were abused, and to try to get information about them, and to try to be more thorough in helping them. And very often that also meant not just children, but women who were being abused. And I would sponsor those things, and I really have to say, and I would be very much inclined to sponsoring those things for the rest of the country, because I do believe they worked really well.